Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We got an event right here, mining accident in Wales. A mine in Wales has collapsed, trapping miners within the dark shafts below. The scale of the accident has made the tragedy a story across Wales and the nation. They dug me out, but left my friend behind. I can't do a Welsh accent. I'm not going to try. It would just be offensive. That was all the foreman was able to get out of the wretched boy. Sooty rags clung to him like wispy strands of a torn funeral jacket. Whether he held back his tears for fear of a beating or to keep strong, the foreman did not know. He was spent for the day. The foreman hoped the manager had a mind for mercy. Our options for this event are: this is a small price to pay for the march of industry. This is going to significantly strengthen the industrialists, but make lower stratum pops in Wales more radical. And this event can occur anywhere, so this is the effects of radicalization are always going to target the state that it exists in. This outrageous abuse of the common man cannot stand. That cannot continue. This radicalizes upper stratum pops and strengthens the trade unions. Or these mines are a blight upon man and countryside alike. This radicalizes middle stratum pops and makes the rural folks stronger. I'm going to go with the first one, because my government is headed up by the industrialists. And just because we're being... Oh, can't build an iron mine there. I was going to say, just because we're going to kind of be supervillains here, I was going to increase the number of iron mines in Wales. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to build more in Leinster, because the British market is just absolutely not where it needs to be from an iron perspective. We're going to move the government admins below the iron mines that we just queued in. Hopefully that will help us continue to allow our entire customs union to build up. In terms of laws, we're going to go to laissez-faire. So interventionism provides no modifications at all to investment pool investment. With laissez-faire, it prohibits us from downsizing buildings, but that are not government buildings. But it reduces our loan interest rates, increases our max number of companies. Oh, that's interesting. It allows us the private construction pool to use more of the private sector to use more of the construction pool. It allows us to, and it also increases the efficiency with which capitalists and shopkeepers contribute to the investment pool. So overall, it's really, really strong, but it is going to make a bunch of people really angry. But hopefully no one it matters is going to apply to that. Hope the landed gentry don't try to do a coup here. Preserve interventionism movement exists, but hopefully we'll be able to spring forward through this and not have to worry about it. Moving right along here, let's go ahead and get ourselves some territory in Southeast Asia. I want to get Borneo. So, what do we? I want to get Borneo. So traditionally, British Malaya at the beginning in 1936 consists of this territory here and and basically northern Borneo, and then the Dutch have got control of the rest of basically the entire rest of the East Indies. So, where do we want to go first? Hey, there's pharmaceuticals unlocking. Wonderful. Well, actually, let me go ahead and increase our Home Affairs. We'll continue to increase that. I think we'll queue in a few more government admin buildings, maybe right after I messed that up, I think. Yeah, here we go. We'll put in a few levels of government admin, 5 levels of government admin, and then we'll put everything else at the top. I messed up those universities, but it's okay. Hold on here. Put them at the top of the government admin set, and that should hopefully be just fine in terms of our construction. Once we've got plenty more iron in the customs union, we'll go ahead and increase the construction sector significantly on top of what we've already got. Currently, we do not have any infamy, so we can go ahead and grab whatever we want. Brunei consists entirely of one state. It's a good target. We conquer them, that'll give us 5.7 infamy, and nobody else will necessarily concern themselves. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm just going to mobilize the Army of India for this. I don't want this to be a giant mobilization unless someone in the West decides to get involved. So we'll let that go for now. 10th British Army. You know what? We don't need this this army. Go to the home army. British Senegal and British Mauritania are isolated. Lisbon Station is low org. Why are you low organization? Too many man-o-wars. Okay. Go ahead and put in some more naval bases under construction. We'll go ahead and throw those all the way at the top. The iron mines ahead of them. And I realize we need to build ports in our isolated colonies. So let's go ahead and get those queued up. One here, one here. And we'll just go ahead and put those all the way at the top here. We'll put the iron mines ahead of them, and then the ports, and then we'll be good to go. So, no one appears to have any interest in defending Brunei from our aggression, so that's, I'm pretty pleased with that overall. How much more can we pay our army? It'll be 10k to increase it by a bit, but I think that's ultimately going to be worth it. Giving the armed forces a pay bump will keep ourselves loyal, but we don't necessarily have a problem with that. Come on, laissez-faire. Excellent. We've proceeded to drafting, which is very, very good. Honestly, we're in the black right now, even while we're in a small war. I'm actually tempted to queue in more construction industries right away, but I do want to get these naval bases built. So what we're going to do is we're going to queue them in at the... I think at the end of these government admins. So we'll do 5 more levels of construction industry. We're really trying to increase our ability to output construction points. And I'm spreading them out to make sure that we have a sufficiency of state construction efficiency. I realize I'm putting another thing between me and those universities. The universities are vital, and I am going to do them. It's just going to be it's going to be a minute before they finally get going. 2 arms. We're going to do exactly the same thing as we did before. We're going to naval invade using the Army of India. Confirm. It's going to take 13 weeks. Brunei does not really have the meaningful capacity to resist this invasion, so I'm not going to concern myself overall with watching it. Almost done with our iron mines, and as you can see, this has helped out our finances a lot. Actually hasn't increased the iron supply a huge amount in the country. We're going to need to import more groceries. Where can we get them from? Russia, Netherlands. How's our relation improvements? We're doing pretty well. I should get working on improving relations with the European powers that are nearby to us, but I really want to make sure that we're good to go with our colonies. France is invading Mascara. Let's hope their faces look great. Kuchi Peasant Revolt. 5 battalions, I think you can handle that, India. I'm extremely confident. Was there a battle? There's a battle. There's a battle happening over here. We are winning. That's not a shock. We're at 67% landing progress. So we are pushing through with maximum efficiency. Iron mines are continuing to grow. Very good. How is the investment pool? Investment pool is chock full. Oh, it's an obligation if we back them. All right. You're our puppet state. We will send the Army of Ireland to assist you. I think they can technically call us always, but we'll send the Army of the West Indies as well. That's just to make sure things go absolutely fine. Conquer North Borneo. This is going to go down. That North Borneo is part of the deal. I think that's not going to go down that much. Oh man, we're already at voting. Excellent. I think that North Borneo is part of the deal. Oh, we got them fully occupied. Wonderful. Okay, so at this point, they are fully occupied. So they're losing 15 war support per turn. That's going to be just fine. We're going to, per turn, per week. That's going to be just fine. We're going to get them all the way down in war support before too long at all. I'm going to move the Army of India over to the front in Cooch. I did not need to increase the number of armies I had mobilized, it turns out, but hindsight's 2020. There's the Peasant Revolt. Once again, this is a tiny zone, and I'm not necessarily going to be paying a huge amount of attention to this. Once our forces get here, it's going to be basically a foregone conclusion. As is this event, which will be flipping over very soon. Coming with me. So, we'll go ahead and align production methods. And what have you got? Not much, but you do have dyes, and that's something we're going to be able to use a lot of. You're also going to have a lot of other plantations and whatnot available in the middle term. This war, our forces have arrived, so that is going to be just fine. We're going to be able to get whatever we wish for here. Pretty happy with the overall war result, to be honest. Let's go ahead and queue these construction sectors up above the... Hey, and there's Home Affairs going up to 2. That's wonderful. We're going to go ahead and queue these construction sectors up above the government admins. Because what that's going to do is that's going to make ourselves build the government admins faster. There were rice paddies under construction, farms, under construction before we got started here, so this is why these are ready to go. How's literacy? Literacy is actually stagnant, which surprises me. But we should increase our education once that's possible. We are actually the war leader for our side because British East India Company is our puppet. We'll get there as fast as we can. Because this is a revolt, the Peasant Revolt is only going to lose when its war support is at -100. We got an advanced success. That brings us up to 53%. So I am pretty confident at this point. We're also about to finish out some of our relation improvements here in these zones. So that will be very good for us as well. So what's our next expansion target? I think we're going to continue to work on Borneo. Borneo is a good location to get frisky in. Gold depleted in Northern Cape. On the other hand, Kuchi Peasant Revolt is defeated. Alright, so, on the other hand, though, we can make Oman a protectorate. That would be nice. Britain often goes for protectorates in a lot of these zones. This is us. I could also attack Ashanti. This would be 11.1 infamy if I took over Ghana, and 11.4 if I took over Togo. I could take it. So if I do this, who else is involved? There are a lot of other people involved over here. But I don't think anyone's going to necessarily go absolutely buck wild over one little state in Africa. So let's do it. Once again, we'll mobilize the Army of India. I'm not going to add... Oh, but I want to add another war goal. I could take over that other state. Actually, I have a front here because this is Britain. So we'll get that army moving regardless. Ashanti does have a pretty substantial army in terms of size, but I've got them beat technologically. I think I'm going to add... Our operations will be basically nothing. You know what? I'm going to add the other state. It's not going to put me over. And this will give them an incentive to back down. France is embargoing us. That's not shocking. Would you like to fight me, France? Would you like to get into a war with me, France, while you're in your little battle in Mascara? You want to fight? You want to fight? Armies are almost in position. It does not look like anyone else is interested in getting involved. I'm very pleased with that. Oldenburg wants an alliance. I don't desire an alliance with you, Oldenburg. We also finished out some of our relation improvements, so we'll continue to work on those as we get going along here. Europe, we're still working on you. Lower Canada, we're still working on you. Let's grab the rest of... Well, that's New South Wales over there. And this is Western Australia. Okay, they're both colonizing New Zealand. South Australia we can improve relations with. I'm also going to start improving relations with... Can't improve relations with the British East India Company. They're as high as they can get. Relations are amicable with them. I'm just going to go ahead and absolve our obligation. And that's going to make relations even better. We've still got a little bit of influence left, so I'm going to grab a relation improvement with the Netherlands. Get started working on that. This war is about to pop off. We have a very strong superiority of force over here. So I'm hoping this battle will begin pretty soon. And I think we won. I thought I saw a battle. Hey, and now we have Laissez-Faire. So, that's going to really significantly impact our finances. It's also going to get us access to a company. So go ahead and take a look at our options. Great Western Railway already exists. Oh, what a terrible company to start with. I have no idea how to get railways good. I should work on that. That's something I should work on. So what else is there? British Mineral Company, 10% fertilizer plants throughput. British Grain Company, 10% livestock ranches throughput. United Home Counties paper production, 10% extra bureaucracy. Oh, that's really good. East Anglia Home Goods, 10% loyalists from standard of living increases. Oh boy, that's really strong. So's this one though, minus 10% radicals from standard of living decreases. Just look at this battle here and make sure that we're winning. Yep, we're winning. Yorkshire State Construction Efficiency is pretty good. British Metalworks, 10% Army Offense. That's pretty stonks. Bunge and Born gives us, I think that's Bunge, 10%, 20% extra rural folk efficiency attraction. That's pretty solid. Great Indian Peninsula Railway, that's a railway company. I'm not even going to worry about it. This is pretty good, but I'm not going to be able to get that, at least not in the medium term. Food company with reduced radicals from standard of living decreases. That's all right. Navy offense and port max level. Oh, that's interesting. We might go for this one later on in the run. J&P Coats, textile mills and cotton plantations throughput. That's all right. Sir W.G. Armstrong Whitworth and Co. 10% Navy defense, 15% carrier offense. Ooh, that's pretty good. JB John Brown and Company Limited. That is a logo that I actually recognize from Hearts of Iron 4. 5% prestige, 10% convoys. That's pretty solid. Baclaw, Vaughn and Co. This is a shipyards and military shipyards throughput bonus. Agriculture Fellowship of North Borneo. This is livestock ranches. British Fabrics, textile mills throughput. Plantation Society reduced radicals from standard of living decreases. United Jamaica Plantation Producers 10% colony growth speed. Oh, that's bananas. Oh, I want that so much. What do I need to get this company? What do I need? A level 10 cotton coffee, sugar, or tobacco plantation anywhere. But I already have a level 10. No, I have 10 levels of sugar plantations. This is something to seriously consider, because 10% colony growth speed is really, really strong for Great Britain. 20% influence, that's okay. 10% prestige, that's pretty good, but it's a vineyards and fruit company. Holland Fisheries, convoys, and shipyards throughput. Wales premium forests, extra infrastructure and whatnot. This might be useful. British Oil, 10% migration traction. That's pretty good. Home counties gold. I need a gold mine anywhere. Might do this. East Anglia premium metals, steel mills throughput. That's okay. East Anglia Foods birth rate. That's pretty solid. British shipyards. Navy offense. Supply consumption for British chemicals. British Motor Company, 10% formation speed. That's interesting. Munition Company of Great Britain, reduced military goods cost. Or finally, British Electrics, Inc., 10% power plants throughput. So the ones that I'm really looking at, this plantation company for 10% colony growth speed is absolutely bananas strong. But I can't get there right away, and I'm definitely going to get some things that will increase my total number of companies available as we get going along here. So I think the first one I'm going to establish is one of these. I think probably reduced radicals from standard of living decreases is the better one of these two. So we'll go ahead and get that going. What do we need for our next company? It's going to be in society tech. Probably joint stock companies. Yeah, it's going to be joint stock companies. I might cue this in immediately after nationalism. In fact, I might cue this in before nationalism. Because that other company is really, really solid as well. Queuing these as conquests. And where are we with our construction queue? We're still working on this naval basis. Okay, so here's something you should be aware of. We changed our economy to being a laissez-faire economy, and now 75% of our construction queue is being used by the private sector. That means this construction queue is going to move really, really slowly. So at this point, we can go absolutely ham on construction sectors. I'm going to go ahead and queue in a bunch more. Let's see. I'm actually going to go with 2 more levels in the Midlands, 2 more in the Scottish Lowlands, 1 in the Scottish Highlands, 1 in Yorkshire, 2 in the West Country, and 1 more each in East Anglia and the home counties. So that's another 15. And we're going to throw them down actually all the way at the top. So this is going to be an absolutely massive increase in the construction industry. It's going to put a huge hole in our finances, but and we're going to need a lot more iron, but overall it's going to be enormously, enormously valuable for us in terms of our overall ability to accelerate the growth of our economy and just generally increase everything we want to increase. So this does put us adjacent to Dahomey and Borgu, which are good expansion targets. We're also very near completing quinine, and that is going to allow us to get just an absolute ton of colonization going. Huh. Well, that's taking back the treaty port in Ghana. Cool. That's just fine with us. So, I'm even talking like Queen Victoria now. So I think we'll go a little bit longer, maybe to the beginning of next year, and that'll let us get those colonies established. We've also got almost 4 million in the investment pool, so getting a big construction sector increase is going to be very, very valuable for us in order to unleash all that investment, because right now the private construction queue is actually pretty, I guess shallow is the word. There's not that much in it. Alright, we're going to need to basically conquer the country in order to get this treaty enforced, so we'll go ahead and conquer the country. Sorry, Ashanti, you're Great Britain now. Go ahead and reset production methods. All right. Action's looking good. But interestingly, I can now fully invest in the industrialists here, so we'll go ahead and do that. This is a government by the industrialists for the industrialists, led by your boy, Robert Peel. So, what do we have here that we can use? A lot of arable land, a lot of good plantation options. Doing pretty well. I am also noticing that in our state actions, we have Big Ben available for construction. 50 prestige and 1% total throughput. Let's go ahead and queue that in for construction. And we'll just put that at the bottom of our huge construction industry expansion. And that'll be great. So what is this going to do to the price of iron in our... Actually, probably what I'll do is I'll pull these iron mines to the top. And we'll get those built out kind of in between all of the construction sectors that we're building. And there's quinine. Perfect. So basically, as our number of iron mines increases, our number of construction industries increases, the number of iron mines will continue as well. And I'm going to put Big Ben in on top of these. Again, there's only so fast that my customs union can build up iron mines. So, now as you can see, our colonies in these zones are growing much faster. And I'm just going to go absolutely buck wild with these colonies. So, what quinine does is it allows you to override the regular malaria trait. So now we've got a ton of colonies growing in all these different zones. Let's go ahead and get ourselves some ports in these areas to get these colonies into our market. I'm going to queue them up to the top once again. And we're just going to split them out across these various construction sectors. I'm going to put Big Ben at the bottom of my tree here. Yep, that's looking good. We're going to do a lot of constructing over the course of this run, friends. We have built up a significant amount of infamy from conquering all of Ashanti right away, so I'm not necessarily going to run after all that, run after any more. Texas, get it together. I'm going to scrap these armies with no commanders, and they just have kind of units out there in the middle of nowhere here. We're just going to put these all, and these are going to go to a bunch of other armies, and that's just fine. We're going to keep these basic armies that we've got established. This is a very good thing to see. We are now building multiple things at the same time. British East India Company started an import route for iron. Well, I mean, that does make sense. Iron is extremely expensive in this. Oh, we can export from Spain at the same time? That's wild. Cool, double up. Get us all the iron. Heck yes. But seeing as that is actually a factor here... Ooh, I'm going to set these fisheries using trawlers. Yeah. Seeing as this is actually a factor, let's see where in the Empire we can build some mines. We've actually got plenty of labor here in Senegal, so we'll build up some there. No iron mines available in any of these other zones. What about over in China? None in there. But there's some iron available in North Borneo. So let's go ahead and get those built. Stanley Seymour? Why would you exile Stanley Seymour? Oh, he's a pacifist, that's why. Well, that does make sense. Carry on. And I know I just keep doing this, but I'm once again going to bring those up to the top of the construction queue. I know I said I was going to build up the those tasty universities, and I am going to, but I might have switched to... Oh, that's a nasty penalty. Rough. I might have switched to Laissez-Faire a little too early, but it will get us what we need eventually. Why is the penalty here so high? It's because of the turmoil and the rainforest. Well, maybe we'll be a little bit more conscientious about those ones. For the moment, though, let's get these iron mines continuing to build up right next to all of our ports. Anyway, that's a massive increase in our construction sector. I'm sure our economy will continue to support it. So, as we go along here, who do we want to improve relations with in Europe? I think Austria is a good improving relations opportunity. And Prussia is a good opportunity. I don't want to get too chummy with any of these countries individually, because I am going to go after them later. But for the moment, while I'm building my empire overseas, it is the right play to continue to increase our relations with them as we go along here. Let me see, where are we in the episode? We're kind of over time, but I'm already in July, so we'll go to the end of the year. We'll get us going fast. We'll continue to let our infamy decay. Our infamy is already pretty low. Go for another small country. Just a little bit of infamy. Lanfang, you're a tributary of China. Alright, so I can't simply consume you. Much as I would like to. Alright, and that is some relation improvements finishing out. Let's go ahead and start improving relations with Prussia. And once these other ones get good to go... So how are things going in Brazil? I could fight a war to end slavery in Brazil. That would be fun. I can definitely defeat them in a war. It would be useful. To get this worked out. I'm actually short on bureaucracy, which I did not expect to be. So we'll go ahead and grab one of these government sectors and throw it all the way at the top of the queue. Right after these iron mines, and that'll hopefully get us where we need to go. We're doing pretty well financially. And we've got an airborne, Augustus of Hanover. So let's take a look at our heir. He aligns with the industrialist. He's a pacifist. Well, that's interesting. That certainly could open up some opportunities. We'll improve relations with Portugal. Portugal's a nice small country to improve relations with. And Austria is feeling wary towards us, but that's okay. I'm not going to take you over, Austria. Now, why would I, Great Britain, a country that never takes over other countries, take you over, Austria? Alright, Japan has finished the colonization of Sakhalin. Are they going to colonize Ainu Mosir? I'm not sure. I could go for a treaty port in Japan. That would be nice, wouldn't it? In any case, though, that will have to be for our next episode. Friends, it's been a good time. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun. And I will see you all on the other side.